Welcome back. Okay, so I've chosen my brand new noob jersey for this one. It is fantastic. It is wonderful. It's Rick and Morty jersey. I'm not talking about Rick and Morty today. Rick and Morty, generally, even when the quality is a little lower, it's still an entertaining show. Flash. Oh, part 4 of Armageddon. All right. So the first 3 parts were interesting. Confusing, right? So part 4, Barry goes to the future to 2031. Good. We're finally going to clear up all the confusion. Nope. No. Nope. Batwoman's there because reasons. There's fighting. Barry's reverse flash in 2031. Why? Okay, so Barry runs 10 years into the future. So Barry's run 10 years into the future and I'm going to get into Archer part here with other Barry. Oh, wow. Does that ever work here too? So, although Archer's very entertaining all the way through too. So it's going to give me a headache, isn't it? So if he goes into the future 10 years, why would he have a reverse flash suit? Where did that come from? Does it mean that if he stopped in 2025, he'd be like, hey, cool threads. That's not really how time travel works. I don't even understand where the suit came from. And okay, so Evil Barry, and there's a reason I'm stuck on this, because the first scene is that Barry's in the future, and there's Eobard Thawne, who looks like Harrison Wells, because, of course, any excuse to have Tom Cavanaugh in the show, I agree with to some extent, but in this case, it should have been Eobard Thawne looking like Thawne, not Harrison Wells, because it doesn't make any sense. He's going to marry Iris. Doesn't make any sense. At no point in this episode do I feel any chemistry between Thawne and Iris. At no point does it make any sense that they're together. And so Barry sees this. And rather than think, hey, I've gone 10 years into the future, maybe I should, suss this out a little bit, figure out what's going on. No, this is Barry. So it's just, hey, guy, what's up? Kind of thing, like right in front of everybody. And he just happens to be exactly where they are, which is convenient. It's convenient he's exactly where everybody that he's looking for is, including Batwoman, because why not? So he runs out of frame and he runs back like, I'm going to go get my flash suit. Okay, where'd he get it? And why is it the reverse flash suit? Why didn't he notice? Flash time has shown us that in the period of a second, he can see everything that's going on around him and react to it. It's so much better than bullet time. It just destroys what Matrix does. And yet, he comes back in the reverse flash suit, and then he looks down and goes, kind of, his reaction was, well, this sucks. It doesn't make any sense. And so he replaced the other flash? How does that make sense? When you go forward in time, you immediately replace yourself? That shouldn't have happened. There should have been another Barry, and it should have been an evil Barry. And then I could have made Archer jokes the whole time I was watching it, because other Barry is kind of crazy. Barry's okay, but look out for other Barry. Oh, the Archer jokes. Keep in mind, he went to 2031 to find out why he had destroyed the world. That Despero, in his time, sees that Flash has gone insane, that it started in 2021 and came back to try to prevent it from happening. So Barry goes to 2031, and the Flash is Eobard Thawne. The Flash has Team Flash under Eobard Thawne. There's no talk of him being crazy. He wasn't going to destroy the world. So, what? And so, like, right away, it doesn't make sense. And worse than that, now we get into Chester and Allegra slept together 10 years ago, which would mean 2021. And And Chester, like he went out to get something for coffee, and he got biscuits or donuts, and she saw him coming back with coffee, and you know what that means? That means he wants to marry you. So Allegra left, and why does any of this matter? Barry is there to wipe out this version of the future. So none of it means anything at all. And they kept going into this storyline of Chester and Allegra, and I kept saying to the TV, I don't care. And the weird thing is, the actress who plays Allegra, I love her. I think she's fantastic. I think she's got a lot of talent. I think she can absolutely play the hell out of this character. And they give her nothing. They give her nothing to do. She uses her powers, 3 times in the last year and a half? She doesn't, right away last season, when they showed Chester and Allegra hanging out, I thought, do not have them a couple. Stop it. Just because a man and a woman are together and they hang out doesn't mean they're going to sleep together. And then she said it was like during a D&D thing or what? So, I guess you're taking the role playing a little too far. And then you get Frost and Chilblain. And oh my God, I cannot explain enough how much I hate the Killer Frost Chilblain romance storyline. I can't stand it. It's awful. I really, really, really don't like it. It's everything they say is cringy and beyond. It's, oh man. So this storyline is running throughout the show. Doesn't make any sense. I love Damien Darhk. If they can figure out a way to bring Damien Darhk back from the dead, I'm on board. I'd be on board with him being a member of the Legends of Tomorrow. I think that'd be a hoot. I am all for Damien Darhk becoming a member of Team Flash. I am absolutely on board with Damien Darhk being a character and having his own damn show. Because not everybody he talks to is going to become a romantic love interest. Okay, so Thawne's plan becomes permanent at midnight. And you know what he did? He went back in time and he killed Flash. He created a reverse Flashpoint. So Flash creates Flashpoint. He comes back to the present and everything's already completely changed. Right? Everything is completely changed. Meaning that when Thawne goes back and kills Barry, that timeline is gone. Barry shouldn't be able to run to the future and confront Thawne. Because he's already dead. And then they did the Back to the Future thing, where every now and then he wouldn't have, just his hand would disappear. All the rest of him still has the ability to, walk around on the floor and cough and all that. But his hand wouldn't work occasionally. So they Back to the Future did. It didn't make sense. Back to the Future, it made some sense. This, it didn't. And becomes permanent at midnight. Wait, what? I liked Flashpoint. Parts of that didn't necessarily make a lot of sense, but it was enjoyable. This is just, wait, why? And why are you telling him this, Eobard Thawne? You're this master villain. Don't tell Barry anything. Just let him fade away, and then everything is yours, even though you clearly don't love Iris. That part didn't make any sense. The idea that Thawne wanted Barry's life, I don't think that was ever established. I don't think that was ever established that he wanted Barry's life. And I think Thawne would be miserable being a member of Team Flash and doing the superhero thing. I think that would drive him crazy. I think that he is a villain, he's evil, and I really think he would have hated that. He is putting himself into a life that Thawne really would not approve of. So he also murdered Joe for no reason. So you're going back in time. Your nemesis, your evil nemesis. Might be the kid that beat you up in high school. It might be the dude who lives across the street from you and drives you absolutely crazy playing rock music in the middle of the night. And you're like, I'm going to go back 20 years and make sure he doesn't exist. All right. And then you tell me, you know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to go back 6 months and I'm going to push his stepdad in front of a train. Why? Well, because that'll drive him crazy. But you're already going back in time to murder him, so you don't have to listen to his music. It doesn't make any sense. And then Thawne also made it look like Flash was going crazy by putting on his face and going out and causing chaos that thankfully didn't murder anybody in Central City. And then leaving. Why? So Despero can come back and go, this is when Flash goes crazy. Despero is the most useless villain in the history of the show, and that's saying a lot. So all of this turns into Flash running back to 2021, and magically that fixes it. I don't understand how, because we've established that if he runs at Mach 20, even though he only has 5% of his speed, it's Mach 20. I don't understand. They're like, well, you've only got 5% of your speed. What? How? Wait, what? So, oh, the Speed Force doesn't recognize you anymore. What? But he just ran forward and, like, it's not going to... The Still Force was even what sent him... So that's not... So, Flash returns to 2021, and magically that fixes everything. But Despero's still there. So, the whole world transforms around Despero, and he's like, what happened? Well, you can go back to 2031. I didn't destroy the world. Except he did, didn't he? The way that they put it, it sounds like Flash absolutely did destroy the world in 2031. Flash did not go back in time and save himself as a child. He never asked Thawne for a specific time where he was murdered. So, Flash is still dead. Right? Barry still, or some other poor child has perished because Barry's evil. I think that's the thing. And then, like, you know, Damien Darhk talk about, oh, you know, you do all these things, then you're not really my evil Barry. And I'm thinking, so what made Barry evil exactly? So what made Barry evil was people thinking he was crazy, or Joe being pushed in front of a train, and then, like, they had this storyline where Joe wasn't actually pushed in front of a train. Went nowhere. Because I'm like, okay, so Joe's alive, and then they start following this idea that maybe Joe's still alive, and then, nope. Wait, why? And then, like, well, this train was ahead of time. It's never ahead of time. Okay, where's that storyline going? Oh, went nowhere. That's great. Because at the end of the 4th episode, Barry's on the phone with Joe. We'll take his word for it because we never hear Joe. So the actor isn't in any of the first 4 episodes, which is too bad because I like Joe. Not that I don't like Cecile. I think Cecile's delightful. Again, the characters that I like are as follows: Allegra. I like Cecile. I swear there's a reason to watch the show. And Damien Darhk's fantastic. But it didn't make sense to me that at the end of this, then Thawne's like, I'm going to get my revenge. And he's in there. I'm Gideon. I'm going to get my revenge. Wait, how? What? How? So Thawne has this whole thing built up, and as soon as Barry runs back in time, that undoes it. Because he's run back in time, not to save his own life or anything. He's just run back to exactly where he left. And everything's back how it was, I guess. And they thought that he was at work, but he's I don't understand. It really doesn't make sense. Did Thawne love Iris, or was he just with Iris just to bother Barry, which wouldn't make any sense if he'd murdered Barry? This like I don't understand. Like, all right, my nemesis across the street. After I kill him, I'm gonna take his house. Why? Do you want his house? Not really, but I'm gonna take it because yeah, I can't wait to see the look on his face. What face? You're going back in time to murder him. Well, because he's still going to be there until it becomes permanent at midnight. That'll be awkward in that house then, and while he's fading away. I don't understand Thawne's reasoning. I also don't understand why Despero's coming back like, Flash has gone crazy. Flash is Thawne. There's nobody in that time that thinks Flash has gone crazy. It's Reverse Flash that's all over the news as being the one that could destroy the world. So he should be coming back in time looking for Thawne, who's Reverse Flash. Oh, but it's Barry Allen's Flash, and he's Reverse. Why would Barry be Reverse Flash too? Like none of that works. It's like somebody just looked at Flashpoint and went, "Why don't we do everything backwards?" Well, that doesn't work. Yeah, no, we'll do everything backwards. How? I don't know. I don't know. Just put like plot ideas in arrows and we'll fire them at a board, and whichever one's closest, that's the plot point we're going to use. And it's too bad because I really did think the first 3 episodes were building to something. And I was like, I can't wait to see what this is building to. Part 5 is this week, so it posts on Netflix on Wednesday. I know I'm going to laugh at part 5. I know it's going to be as ridiculous as the lightsaber battle. I think that it's sad that they bring in Despero, who could have been very good villain if done right. The CGI was terrible, and now it's all fun. Everything seems to be a backdoor with this show to get back to Reverse Flash, and it's lazy. It's something that Smallville fell into with Lex Luthor, where okay, so Lex has turned evil, and now what? And okay, well, Kid Lex, I guess. It is a shame when a show falls into this. The Flash comic book, the cartoons, they have lots of different villains. It's not all Eobard Thawne. Is Thawne the ultimate villain? Sure. For Flash, he is as Joker is to Batman. But like yesterday, I also watched the first 2 episodes of the season 3 for Titans. Really pretty well written. My only problem was they didn't hide who Red Hood was very well at all. Right away, I was like, I know who that is. I know who it is. I know who that is. And you're like, oh, who's Red Hood? I know. I know who it is. I got it. I'm ahead of you. But still, it's well written. There's some good characterization in there. It's weird that Rachel's not in it. As I said, I'm through the first 2 episodes, but it's still well written, and I'm enjoying it. And the actor that plays Robin, man, he buffed up between season 2 and season 3. He just looks like now he's like wrestler big. I actually believe now that he could kick everybody's ass in a fight. But yeah, I mean, and while there's some weirdness with Titans and there's some things that may not make a lot of sense, it still makes up for it in what's good characterization and sensical storytelling. There's some sense to it. And with Flash, I don't always get that. I thought it was interesting. I watched a video not long back on Flash, and they talk about the Arrowverse and how the Arrowverse was beloved and everybody enjoyed Flash and Arrow and all of these other like Legends and all these shows as they came out. And then we saw Jessica Jones, we saw Daredevil, and it likely became a matter of us not necessarily seeing the shows going down the drain as much as Daredevil was written really well and Jessica Jones was written really well. Season 2 is a bit of a slog, but the first season of Jessica Jones is some of the best TV I've ever watched. It is absolutely thrilling, and it is fantastically paced out. It doesn't overstay its welcome, and you genuinely hate the villain in it, and you are genuinely rooting for Jessica throughout. And they don't make her perfect, and they don't have big lapses in logic in anything that happens in that show. And I think what happened, and I will agree with this, is that people then were less forgiving of the comic book shows on the CW. Because again, now we're going to be dealing with Chester and Allegra getting together, even though that future version of them doesn't exist now because Flash ran back in time. So that's it. I don't... Not to mention, I still don't understand how the chill force, how the still force did it. It should be the chill force. That'd be great, right? The chill force. It's just chill. At any time the chill force around, everybody just chills the F out. So, yeah. I don't know where this is headed. I don't understand this at all. I really don't. I watched it, the whole episode. I was like, wait. And then like Iris loves Barry, and that's what gives him the energy to go back in time. And I'm like, wait, what? So you could say, well, that's an echo from the other reality. I call it lazy writing. And the electricity in the eyes of Iris too. I was like, wait, no, come on. That's so. Anyways, so Run Barry Run is still the thing, and here we are. All right. If anybody watched that show, Part 4, and if you were able to make heads or tails of it, that'd be greatly appreciated. Let me know what you thought in the comment section below. And it's too bad because I read, before they did the Armageddon thing, I read up about it online and what that storyline was in the comics. I'm like, hey, that could be really well done. Nope. And the first 3 episodes, I was like, maybe. Like that video I did last week, where I'm like, maybe. And then this week is a no. So, it's a no for me, dog. Anyways, there you go. Let me know your thoughts. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happen upon this video, and I will watch Part 5. I'm in too deep with Flash. I can't just stop watching it. I have to see how it ends. Eventually. It eventually has got to end, because I would totally understand if Grant Gustin was looking at this season and saying, I can't do more of this after this year. Grant Gustin, who plays Flash, he's a good actor, and eventually he's going to want to move on. The thing is, when you've been this part for this long, that's kind of who you are now, and it might be more difficult to get out of that whole typecasting thing that can happen with people who've carried a TV role for a very long time. But if Ted Danson can move on to The Good Place and reinvent himself in various shows, I'm sure Grant Gustin can do it as well. I am still rewatching The Good Place too, which when you get to season 4, it's hard to watch season 4 a second time because it really is kind of all over the place. This is season 8, by the way, so there's that. All right, thank you guys so much for all your support. It means a lot. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And from my brand new favorite of the geeky jerseys that I have. So this is from Geeky Jerseys. And if this was a custom. This was a pre-order, so I put the number 1 on it because to me, this is my favorite character ever in the history of Rick and Morty. And I'd like to see Noob show up next season at some point. I hope. Fingers crossed. But there you go. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I'll talk to you again soon.